Hey everybody, I'm Dan. Let's get right to it. Today we're going to do an unboxing video for some Harbor Freight US General white tool cabinets. We've got 3 boxes here. We've got the 42-inch base cabinet here, the 42-inch top cabinet here, and this will be on the side. This will be a 27-inch roller cabinet. We got this instead of getting the hook-on side cabinet because they wanted just more storage space. All right, I'm going to take a knife. They've got good straps on here. The straps say that they are not handles and don't use them to lift. I did use them to pull a little bit. That worked out fine. The actual box seems pretty beefy. Here's a picture of the toolbox here. And there isn't any crazy damage. And hopefully when we open these things up, we don't have any damage to the toolbox themselves. We'll find out how Harbor Freight did with this US General 42-inch top chest. All right, first I'm going to just carefully take the knife on the corners. We'll pop this open and see what we have. I'm not going to run the knife all the way down in because I just don't want to slice anything. All right away we see a bunch of styrofoam, and that's good news. So here's styrofoam, and then there's some foam padding right on top of the box. These cardboard stiffeners are a very welcome sight to see. These things are really good, and they provide a lot of stiffening for the corners of the box. They did a good job a great job actually, of using these 90-degree styrofoam pieces. Now we can just lift the box straight up. Now you'll notice that this comes on a pallet too, very beefy pallet made with some scrap stuff. Here's the back of the box. It's all wrapped in plastic. It's got this light styrofoam-like coating on top. This is a hole that you can take out, put a grommet in, do that sort of thing. Well, let's spin it around and see what she looks like. But what they have under here on the bottom is they have the toolbox set right down on the pallet, so that's great. And we'll find out whether it's anchored to the pallet or not. And here we go. Wow, that's a nice looking box. Here it appears they have the keys. So we're going to check into that. We're also going to look at this styrofoam cover. We're going to slowly peel it off and slowly take a look at the box and see how she looks. I don't see any side handles on it, so we're going to have to use our hoist to lift it up and put it on top of this roller cabinet. But there she is. It comes locked. Everything is locked. So we'll go ahead and open that up. So it comes with 2 sets of barrel keys. Not sure I can put them up against my shirt. Just the typical barrel key. So we'll try those and make sure they work. And there it is. So that opens real nicely. It'll stay open most of the time anyway. And it's got nice hydraulic cylinders here on the sides. It comes with foam padding, and we can just go ahead and take these out right here. Nice padding here. Now for the drawers, I opted for this. I wanted the bigger model, but this model had more drawers on the sides, so I wanted to go with this. You can't just open the drawers. You have to pull a lock off to the side. There's a little lock we'll show in the B-roll, and you put your fingers underneath and you slide this way, and these drawers will open up. You can kind of see my fingers move to my right, and then the box opens up. Over here, you've got to pull them away from this wall. So you would pull this toward me. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. Yep, it's locked here, so everything pulls that way. And there you go. And again, everything has the padding already in it, which is wonderful. So I'm going to go ahead and check all the drawers. And here are the instructions. So that's that. And that would be the US General 42-inch double bank top chest. This thing is great. So that's unboxing number 1. I'm going to take the camera and I'm going to show you where these are going to go. If we turn to the back wall, you may have seen some of the back wall in our videos. Well, this is the back of our garage, and the new toolbox is going to span in this space here. It's roughly 70 inches wide. So let's keep going with the unboxing. The next piece we'll do is the roller cabinet, the big roller cabinet, the base cabinet. Again, it's on a pallet. It trailered down the road very well. This weighs about 400 pounds. We'll get the exact specs in the video, but it didn't move. There's no apparent damage on the box. There's a little bowing here and there, but I don't expect that to be an issue. And given the way they pack these with the styrofoam, I'm going to assume we're going to be all set with this too. So we'll go ahead and unbox this. Again, I want to be very careful on the top. So I'll just put the knife in about halfway. Again, we have the same kind of nice cardboard packing. It looks like we've got 3 pieces of about 3/4 inch styrofoam. You can see that there. Down each corner, we've got the styrofoam stiffeners here and the protection braces. The protection is wonderful on this thing. I did not expect this. So I'm pretty pleased. All right, and now we'll see if I can move this cardboard safely. It comes with its own, if you can see that, its own unboxing instructions, and it shows that it's got a ramp to take this off of the pallet, which is great. So we can read that and figure out what we need to do. But there's the base cabinet. It looks great, and it's already got the casters on it. I'm assuming it's going to be the same barrel lock. Let's find out. Oh, apparently it's different. Oh wow, there's 4 keys in there. That's a lot of keys. There we go. Again, we take the locks, we pull them this way, and then the drawer will open. Go like this. There it is. A really cool thing is when you open this drawer, they have a pre-made ramp already for you. You can put this on the side and roll this thing off the pallet. That is really cool. These larger drawers have double slides on them. We'll get into that a little later. Let's try these drawers. Pull to the right. Very nice. Again, all the drawers have the foam inside. That non-skid stuff is really nice. It does move around a little during shipping. All right, and then here we've got our instruction manual, and we've got something in here. I'm assuming this might be the handle. And we have a very nice handle here. This is a strong metal handle. We can decide which side of the box we want to put it on. Boy, that's really nice. I think right now we're going to leave it over on this side. Yeah, that'll be great. You can see the nice deep drawers there. I'll have to measure that afterward and get it in the specs. Nice double slides. And the lock is right here. And it's just a little piece of plastic. And when you pull the drawer to the right, the lock goes in. That's it. And it just locks. And the double slides on the side are going to be great for heavy tools. On each side of the box, it's got 4 holes up top, and you have a knob on the outer ends of the handle, and you would just form up the outer end and then use your screws and put that together, and that's how the handle would go. So it's a US General Series 3. A little hard to see in this light. And again, the handle could go on this side as well. Maybe I'll put it over there. I haven't really decided. All right, I'm going to put the camera back on the stand, and let's see what we can do to safely get this thing on the ground. Boy, that is heavy. I think we're going to set up our hoist for this one. I'm going to move this box over. That'll give us a little room to work. So it may be a little bit hard to see here with all our stuff in the background, but I've got our lifting bar here, our lifting beam up on our hoist. I'm going to line this up a little bit, and then I'm just going to take a strap and just lift up a little bit so I can pull out the dollies, the moving dollies, and then the pallet will be on the ground and we can use the ramp to help get it off the machine, or I might just lift it up and just use the hoist. We'll see what I feel like in about 2 seconds here. So far, looking around the box, there's no damage. There's no denting at all, so that's wonderful. I mean, this thing is fantastic. Just nice drawers. I'll probably be using this drawer the most of all with wrenches, etc. For now, we'll put the handle, we'll leave it out. We'll probably put the handle on. So it comes with 3 different size bolts. There's a small set here. There's a larger set, and then there's 2 of these that will screw the handle on. So let's just go ahead and get that going. I'm going to get this box right out of the way here. This is something new that I've tried. I've got a regular and metric set of Toolant Hexit keys. And if you can see that okay on there, these are metric right now. And I'm going to take the one that fits the Allen screw here for the handle. I'm going to start screwing that on. And that just drops right in there. If you can see that against my shirt, drops right in there, sticks out about that much. Be perfect. So here we go, screwing it on again. It feels really nice quality. It's not as nice as their Icon models, but again, I wanted the white color to brighten the garage. The Icons are really beautiful. Of course, they're a little more expensive, but I think for what we have here, for the value, this is going to be fantastic. We're not professional mechanics. We don't work every day. We just keep a bunch of tools in the box. And but we take good care of our stuff. There you go. That's going nowhere. We're going to have to read the box and see what the other stuff is for. I'll bring the camera over so you can see that. Let's see here. So you're supposed to inspect for shipping damage before accepting the shipment. You definitely don't want to see them stacking this thing up, and definitely be careful when you unpack your US General tool storage box. And again, this is the one we got here. It's item 70373, and this is the bottom box, 42 by 22, 41 1/4 high. It's got 16,700 cubic inches of storage space, 2,600 pound weight capacity. And the drawers, I was correct, the drawers hold 120 pounds each. And they're full width drawer latches. And I'll tell you, this thing is just awesome. It's got 10 drawers on it, 5-inch casters. We'll get to that in a minute. Okay. So let's see what they've got for us. Step 1, they give us this, again, these loading instructions here on the cabinet. And it would be pallet unloading instructions. Remove all the packaging, make sure the casters are locked, take the key, the cabinet handles, and screws, put it together. We just did that. And then we look in this drawer over here. We found the supplied ramp, and we put it on the side. And we want to lock the drawers. You want to lock them so they're closed before we make the move. That's what it says right here. Then it says to remove the 3 rails illustrated below that secure the casters to the pallet, but don't remove the single rail on the back side or it could roll off the other way. So we've got these 3 items to take off. And then it says, with assistance, carefully guide it off. I'll aim the camera down to the floor so you can see what I'm doing. well, actually first, we'll do the rigging side first. I'm going to take a 12-foot strap. I'm going to get a blanket. So we're going to go ahead and all right. All right, so those are not going to open while we mess around with this box. So first I'm going to lift this box up just enough to get the moving dollies out from under it. And again, we'll use a 12-foot lifting strap. All right, so we've got the back hooked up. And we'll bring the front strap up. Now I could take this thing and just set up a double strap, lift it right off the pallet and be done with it, but maybe you're going to buy this thing and you won't have the means to lift it like we do. So we're going to do the pallet method right after we get it off the dollies. All right, so here we go. This will be just a quick lift. There we go. Now we'll put the pallet on the ground. And I'll move it over this way just a little bit. All right. It is real nice to have a hoist in the garage to do this sort of thing, because as I get older, things get heavier and heavier. And I can't tell you just how nice this is. Oh, well, actually, I can tell you. It's really nice. We made this homemade lifting beam. It's out of towing parts. Maybe a professional rigger would never do that, but we've never had a problem. We never overload it. We've lifted our 1,000-pound generator with this setup with a single cable, so we know it works perfectly. Now we'll lift this out of the way. So that way we don't bang our head. And now what I'm going to do is just double check the camera now. What I did down here was I took the strap and I just ran it simply through here and ran it around the box with a towel and just lifted a little bit, popped the moving dollies out. As I mentioned in the video, I could have simply grabbed the box, lifted it, moved the pallet, and been done. But this is an unboxing video. It comes with a ramp. I want to show people how to use the ramp to safely take this tool chest off of the pallet. So that's what I'm going to do right now. We have to remove this brace, and this brace over here on the side. We don't want to remove a back brace, because if we do, then the machine could, or the toolbox could roll off that way, and that could be a problem. So we're going to do all the work from this side. We're going to unlock our toolbox again. Pull out the ramp. And again, this is a ramp they specially make for the box. That's pretty cool. I'll put the keys in the top for now. It's as simple as that. So I'm going to get a bar and start banging off this stuff. Let's hope we don't hit the new toolbox. All right, we have one more brace to take out in the front. All right, that's done, and put our tools back. All right, You can obviously unwrap the ramp. I'm not too worried about it at this point. They do have levers under there, and they say on and off. I've pushed it to the off position, and now this thing should roll a little bit. We'll see. We'll see how she does. I'm going to hold I've got good shoes on. I'm going to hold the ramp in place with my foot so it doesn't move, and we'll gently take this thing off. I'll move the camera a little more. Here we go, guys. The instructions say we should lock this up, so let's go ahead and do that just to cover ourselves. Just so we don't have any issues. All right, now I'm just going to gently work it. Just checking. It looks like she's ready to roll. All right, let's find out what happens. There she goes. Now you want to be careful if you're in this position that you don't have the ramp push out in your excitement to get this off the last run. So I'm going to put my foot here. And there it is. That came off real easy. Now I'm going to do some rigging. I'm going to mount that upper cabinet onto this lower cabinet, and then we'll get an idea of what she's going to look like. It takes a little bit of getting used to work the door locks, and you can see how well it runs. It's a beautiful cabinet. You can see that there. She's very well constructed. So now I'm going to put my brain cells together and figure out a safe way to put this box on top of the other box. So let's get that going. All right, we'll take the camera. Oh, that's great. So you're going to see I've already moved the old cabinet over there, moved it out of the way to the right. The new cabinet's going to go about there. This piece is going to go on top of that cabinet, and then the 27 that we have not yet unboxed, that little guy is going to roll into that hole right there. So let's work on unboxing, or excuse me, on lifting the top cabinet so we can mount it. Let's see if I can do this alone without damaging anything. So my plan is simply to lift this thing up higher than that box and put it together and then monkey with it to get the straps out. Let's see how I do. I'm going to lock these drawers. So we'll do a little abracadabra here. Now I noticed on the bottom of the pallet, let's see if you guys can see this. I'll move the camera. If you look down toward the end, there are some openings here. I might be able to feed a couple straps through, and then just gently lift it up that way. Let's see what I can do. I think our big straps are going to be our big strap might be a little too big. Yeah, I'll have to work with a different strap. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this little straight edge. It's a 4-foot straight edge, and I'm going to tape the strap to that, run it right underneath, do that both times. That should be an easy trick. Let's see if this will work. Oh yeah, she pops right through. Okay. So these are 15-foot straps. So that gives us, oh yeah, that's plenty more length. That'll work nice. So I'll run this one through. And I'll do the next one. All right, now we'll pull the next one through. The Super Bowl starts in a half hour, so I wanted to see if I can get most of this done, but I may have to come back to it. All right, I'm going to move the camera a little closer and get an idea of what kind of thing I'm doing here. I want to make up a basket. Keep the straps nice and straight. And I'm going to take my strap and go through this ring here. I have to level this now. And this is how I'm going to attempt to pick it up. We'll do the same with this one. All right, so that'll take a little bit of balancing. And the trick to this is just to get things working smoothly and safely. I'm going to bring the hoist down, and now I'll back the camera out for you. So I can do a couple of different things here. But what I'm going to try initially is, because this thing only weighs a little over 100 pounds, I'll get that right for you guys in the specs. I'm just going to go ahead and use the binder clips like you normally do. Get that wound tight. I'll hang that sucker there. Now this will take a little bit of finesse to get this from going crooked, but we'll just work at it slowly and carefully, and we'll get her done. And that's that one. So I'm just going to give it a little tug and see how we do. So we'll have to snug up on this one a little bit. We'll play with this one and see how we do here. I'm going to have to redo that. Again, if you do this sort of thing, I know it's easy to get excited to get this thing done, but take your time. You may find you have to redo these things because you have them set wrong. That's totally fine. Just take as much time as you need, because the more you learn from doing this, the better you'll be at doing any kind of rigging in your garage. Yeah, now I'm going to lift just a little inside. Hello, Mary. My wife just showed up. Say hello, honey. She's getting ready. We got the game starting in a half hour. I'm just getting ready now. In fact, we're going to go ahead and test our lift assembly, and just to see how the upper box will lift. Mary, would you mind stepping behind the camera and seeing how that looks? We might have to go over there. That looks good. We want to see how this looks. Now, whenever we do a lift, we'll lift up the load, and then we'll let it sit for a couple minutes, just to make sure nothing creaks, cracks, breaks. The other thing I have to check too is to see why the pallet is lifting with the toolbox. We're going to gently use a pry bar to pry this free. We have to go gentle here and not damage anything. I don't know if Mary can kind of get a view of that here. Can you get a view of that? Yes, I can. Okay, let's see what happens. Gently, just want to pop the nails without. There's one side. There, we are now free from the pallet. So far, she's safe. Now we'll look underneath, and there's the piece of wood that was causing one problem. There's the other one. So now we're good to go. Okay. Adjust just a little bit because we don't want to ding the paint if we can help it. I'll work from the lower side. Okay, ready, Mary? Ready. Okay. And that's a view of the toolbox. And all it does is it sits inside the rails on either side. Gently pulling the strap so it doesn't heat up and damage the paint on the toolbox. There. The front one is out. Now we'll work the back. We'll make sure this is all straight so it's not twisted. And we'll see if we can do the same thing on this side. Why don't we showcase the brand new box? There it is. Again, I'm just going slowly, making sure we don't heat up that contact point. And there it is. This is a US General Series 3 42-inch base cabinet, US General Series 3 top cabinet, and we're absolutely thrilled with the unit so far. No damage, no blemishes, very well packed, shipped real well, hauled real well, put it together as a one-man show, a one-woman show. It works. Thanks for watching. On the next video, we'll do the unpacking of the 27-inch roller cabinet. So what I'm going to do now is Mary's going to film me rolling this into place. The 5-inch casters roll really well. And that's it. In this space, we're going to put the 27-inch roller cabinet. We'll have plenty of desktop space. If we need more tools, we'll buy a top unit like this that's 27 inches wide. We'll put it on that toolbox, and we should have plenty of storage. Now, the last thing we need to do is we need to unlock one of these boxes. Can't quite remember. Ah, yes, here we go. This is how it'll generally sit. There you go. Thanks a lot. We'll see you on the next video.